This is your source for local news in the Heartland.
This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. We're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet 1 this morning, and we're in the kitchen, which means it's time to cook, and we're joined by Virginia Watson, who is a fan favorite. When you came on that last time, everybody talked about you, and they're like, when is she going to come back on? And I finally got you to come back on. So how are you doing?
I'm great.
Good. And we're going to be making homemade gravy today.
We are. We're going to make broth gravy, and we're also going to make milk gravy.
Okay.
How many of you cook a pot roast or a beef roast in the crock pot? I did some chicken thighs the other day. They were very economical, and that's what we're using is some of the byproducts from that.
Perfect.
I cooked them in the crock pot for, 2 or 3 hours, and then the juice that you have left is the broth.
Okay.
And then the fat. Now, after I have cooked the chicken and taken it out, I always strain the juice or the broth through a tea strainer.
Okay.
And then I put it in the refrigerator and let it set. Well, this has set here a little bit, so you have fat that'll settle to the top, and then you have this jelly-like material, which is broth.
Okay.
And you were seeing that it looked like jelly. And to make gravy, if you use the right proportions and watch you don't have lumps with flour, it'll be a good product.
Okay.
I have 1/4 of a cup of the fat in here, and then I'm putting the flour in. And when you have lumps in gravy, it is the flour. So you just stir this, and I'm not putting any heat on this because this skillet does not work on this stove. You have to use a special skillet.
Okay.
But see what I'm doing? I'm getting all of that flour mixed up. And when you're making your broth gravy, it's a little bit different than the milk, but use this correct proportions. Now, if you don't have enough broth or juice, as we were saying, you make some more.
Okay.
And you can add some water to the broth that you do have. Then you can use some bouillon. Brian, you want to stir that just a little bit for me, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the imitations, this is a chicken broth that you can buy in its granules. I could even just add some to that, and it would help the flavor. We have the cubes, and you unwrap them, of course, and dissolve them in a cup, excuse me, a cup of hot water. And then this is a beef imitation. Now, also, you can use canned. We have refrigerated broth you can use. I find if I use a can or if I use a refrigerated, I may not use it all, and therefore it's being wasted, and it's like you're throwing away money.
Okay.
Now, we have the flour and the fat mixed here, and I'm going to add some of the broth gradually.
Okay.
And we would put 2 cups of total broth, either what comes from the chicken or else what you make along with it.
Right.
And then we just heat that and bring it to a boil
Okay.
and be ready to go on your mashed potatoes.
Awesome.
There you go. And then what do we have over here? We have
Okay,
about
we're
2
gonna
minutes
make-
right here. So.
Okay, we're going to make sausage gravy.
Ooh.
And I have the drippings from the sausage that I cooked. I did that last night, and I have it hot, and then we're going to stir again. Now, you're going to have to really watch here because you do have some pieces of sausage in there. And you bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to need the milk.
Okay. You want me to pour this in
Well,
slowly?
not yet. We
Oh,
got to
okay.
see, this is where you'd have a problem if you added that milk too soon. So you got to get that flour all separated, each one of the flour granules, and then let that cook. All right,
Okay.
let's say that. If you cook it too long, you can break down. Don't put all of it in.
All of
Just
it?
About, okay,
that good?
just stop. No, put some more in.
Put some more in. Don't be a little scared to do that.
I know.
Now, you just keep stirring that, and you let it boil till you get to
And
the
then that'll cause it to
consistency.
thicken up over time then?
It will thicken up. If it becomes too thick, we just add some more milk, and I imagine we'll need some more.
Okay. And can you add a little bit more flour too if it becomes a little too runny?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Not at this point.
All right. Now, what did you want Brian to ask about that package
Yeah, we were talking
gravy?
about this. You can buy just packaged gravy. What's the benefit of making it on our own here?
Well, because the sodium that's in it. And anyone that has health issues have to be very careful.
Yeah, I'm reading here. It's 370 milligrams. That sounds like a lot.
It is. It's a lot. Now, do you think gravy is very nutritious?
Not so much, right?
No, it's a grease. and
Tasty.
it's tasty.
delicious.
We like it. Okay, here we have it boiling.
I can see
We
it
need
thickening up already.
It is.
A little more milk?
Sure thing.
All right.
Now, when we add the sausage in a little bit, it'll even thicken it some more.
Okay. And welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're live at Kelly's Furniture and Carpet One this morning, and we just made some gravy with Virginia Watson. And right now, we just made sausage gravy, right, for
Correct.
biscuits and gravy, and you are adding some seasoning to it, correct?
I added a small amount of salt and then white pepper.
Oh, okay.
I like to use the white pepper in the milk gravy.
Okay.
Right. And then what you also said about portioning things as well.
Yes, we're going to put about a half a cup on each one of the biscuits.
Okay.
And
Smells delicious.
And if you'd like to do that, you go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this thickened up real nice.
I had a slotted spoon here, and I used that to dip out the sausage last
Directly
night.
over this?
Just however you would like to have it. Just put it all over
There you go.
the
Oh,
biscuits.
yeah.
And this is a slotted spoon that works really well to take up your sausage and then leave a few drippings in your pan, which you would do it right immediately after finishing. If you're an inexperienced cook, I suggest you experiment at home with some vegetable shortening. Use 1/4 of a cup of it, and flour and water, and make
Okay.
your gravy. And you can throw it away, and it's not a lot of money or the good items that you're using for to make your sausage gravy. You can use other meat instead. You can use ham. I used to make ham a la king. Our family really liked it and made it and put it on cornbread. And it's real tasty.
And it's really easy to make the gravy over here that we made over here with the broth, correct?
Right,
And
right.
And so with this gravy, you just continue adding milk until it thickens up, right?
Thickens to what you want.
right.
Now, the thing to remember is you have to separate those flour granules or you're going to have lumps.
True. And
Right.
before you add the milk.
Oh, yes. And don't add any more.
All right.
Just have thin gravy instead, okay? Don't add the flour after you've added the milk.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming on. We'll go ahead and post the directions on our website at the neighborhood tab, which is located at the top of our homepage at heartlandconnection.com. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Ella Soroka.
And I'm Brian Dukes.
Your news will continue tonight with KTVO News at 5, but you can check us out anytime at heartlandconnection.com.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great Friday, everyone.
We'll see you right back here Monday morning at 6 a.m.